The heat exchanger in the annex that controls the lobby and the two restrooms is on that bad, so it's gonna need to be replaced. And I don't have any numbers on it yet, but David from KVK is gonna write up a proposal for the whole unit for that. The evaporator, which sits right in front of it, and the whole unit. He says the units are 10 years old. They have a life expectancy of 15. So we're gonna get a proposal for the heat exchanger, the evaporator, and a condenser which sits outside for a whole unit.
These are all left over from the previous building, so there's no guarantee or warranty, anything?
No. He doesn't think so. It'll be at least another week before he gets those numbers to me, so. It's just a matter of how much or how little you want to do with it.
Does the building have heat now? I mean,
The
is
building has heat, it's just the lobby, the entryway, and the
It's that
restroom.
unit that's above the lobby.
That's the one that leaked
It's leaked twice.
all the time, all too, so it needs to be put in.
it's just like
Correct
repairing
it
a
or
home,
something.
you try and save
Well,
money
okay.
and keep doing stuff, and it just doesn't ever work.
We'll have to cut a hole up there again, because the units are too big to fit in or out of that little hole that's there, so I'll have to remove the face of that and repair that after it's done.
But we're not in danger of freezing pipes or anything like that.
Shouldn't be any danger
People
of
are
that.
comfortable working in
Yeah. We can always turn the heat on in the main room and open the doors up and let it bleed out into the lobby if we have to. But I don't think the room's gonna be cold enough for the next month to worry about that.
there. Sunday, they're talking about it getting pretty cold.
So KVK is making a proposal, then
We're gonna have a
we'll probably have to
proposal.
get 2 more, at least 3
Bids.
bids.
Okay, we'll contact a couple more people and have them come out and look at it. Anybody in particular? Jeff Meyer, there's the other guy here in town.
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah, just as well.
Okay, Davis and Jeff Myers come out and have a look and give us a bid on that also. And I'll get back with you.
We'll try to keep it local.
All right.
Alright.
Thanks. Anybody?
So, I guess I should have said something to him. We could bring those signs up. Put them in your office. Throw them.
We'll put them back in the fall. Or we could put them at the end,
And then storage over there,
in my
okay.
little storage room. Just bring them up here. Well, are they in your pickup?
They're in my car, yeah.
Before you leave them, I might just take them.
Okay.
Anything else?
I have nothing right at the moment.
Let's recess.
I just want to kind of update you guys a little bit.
Updates on the ERG. Love that.
The engine that we spoke about last time, we went ahead and had them come down and pump tested it. They pump tested all 4 engines throughout the county. And they said that would kind of narrow down what might be wrong. And we'd asked about cost of a new pump. And they said that for, I think it was Anthony maybe, they just put a pump transmission in, and that alone was $21,000. So I thought, well, if that's just the transmission part of it, well, we're quite a ways off on that one. So they did say that with the pump test, it would have shown if it needed rebuilt or something, and they said it seemed fine. So, there was some valves that were leaking in the prime button. So it would still need the packing, I think 3 valve kits, a prime button fixed. I think that was about it. Oh, a couple temp gauges that are on the outside panel. Those would be the pieces that they found during that pump test. I tried to get them to get me a close, an accurate quote on this new information, and he didn't get it to me by Friday, so, I don't have anything on that one yet. The ambulance that we spoke about last time, when I talked to Jerry Sanders over at Stafford, and he told me that with the EGR delete kit this company, or that is offered, he said even though the state of Kansas doesn't have emissions laws, he said it's still like catalytic converters. He said it could be up to $50,000 fine if you remove the EGR cooler. So we're gonna go away from removing the EGR cooler.
Yeah, I think it's a good plan.
Using the delete kit. I kinda wish this other company would have, the other place would have told me, but I suppose.
They wouldn't sell it.
It's kinda like catalytic converters, if, nobody knows who took it off, then. But, so, I'm gonna take it over to Jerry and have him run it. He did tell me a few things about, the fuel injection control modules. He's got a place in Wichita that'll melt the glue out of them, and then solder everything together. He said that's fixed, a couple of pickups recently. Another one is, the vanes in the turbo, in that particular turbo. Can't remember, it's a variable something or other turbo that Ford uses. He said those vanes open and close with boost on this one. Like the ambulances, if they get setting, he said they could have got a little rusty around there. So, he had a gentleman over at Stafford that his diesel went back and forth to the copper shop, and that was about it. And he said that that was exactly the same thing he was doing. So he's got a few little things that he said that he would like to look into before making some kind of a quote. But I told him I still want to make sure for the long run that we're not coming back and having issues too. So he's just going to look into it and see, what he can find wrong with it. So.
What about the water cooler, water filter?
The antifreeze filter on that, yeah, I definitely still want that added to that vehicle too, just because that it is, seems to be a problem. This, I did get a quote from that company, but this was with the EGR delete kit, brought it from that 5,200 down to 3,600. He included a programmer in that that gets rid of the check engine light, basically. I looked up this morning the cost of instead of an EGR delete kit, the cost of an aftermarket EGR cooler, and the price of the programmer and the delete kit is just about $100 more than the aftermarket cooler. So, alright, but I don't have any accurate on that. After talking with Jerry, he was he didn't want to work on it if we were going to do the delete kit. He said I'm not going to. He said I don't want to have it on paper somewhere that I'm going to take off an EGR cooler. And I said no, I completely understand that. So we had a brush truck get a little hot up around that fire on the north end of the county. It melted some plastic on it. Around the
Hot
grill
from
and
the
headlight.
fire or hot from the engine?
Hot from the fire. Oh, yes.
Boy.
It got awfully hot. They got pretty close. That was that a week and a half ago or something, I believe, that we were out for a few hours that night. My question is, do I need to turn that into insurance or do we just fix it? The cost is $775 in parts. Our deductible is $500. It only leaves us basically with $275 is the difference. So my one thought was that, well, we pay insurance for a reason, but then my other thought is, do we want more claims on our insurance? So
Not for cheering, but.
that's kind of what I was thinking. So it'd be better
Is
just
this
to,
something you have to fix?
it was the mirror, the grill, the headlight, a couple of the pieces probably, maybe like the grill. It didn't get the grill too bad. But the mirror and the headlight on the driver's side was the worst of it. And then
Must
all-
have pretty
Well,
close.
that, but that's your own fire truck.
Well,
Yeah.
I dug around underneath that thing for probably 15-20 minutes and made sure that no little brake lines or little sensor
I was gonna
lines.
say, your wiring and stuff's all right, you
Yeah.
checked it all out.
Yeah, I dug around and made sure there's a little bitty plastic airline or something. I think it's probably like either the ABS sensor line or it's an air pressure line or something that goes to that front tire, and even that was okay. So none of the wire loom had even gotten hot. I think it must have been just whether it was a wind change at that moment that just took a burst of heat over to the truck. It didn't really discolor the paint anywhere that I could see, so. But the plastic pieces on the old brush truck suffered. So I checked with Ford, and I can get all the parts pretty quickly from Ford, but their total was $775. If I leave out the grill, I think that keeps me around $500. I think the grill was somewhere around $275. It was the least damaged of them. It's just the edge of it. But so we have that one.
That's work you can do yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty simple looking. As far as I could tell, everything that needed to be replaced was just a little nuts and bolts. And they're all just black plastic. They're nothing you can paint or anything. So if we can get parts in, we can get that repaired in just an afternoon probably. That's it. I was gonna talk to you guys about another thing, but it just seems difficult to get quotes in last week. Nobody wants to send anything back, so it's getting close to the end of the year, and I don't wanna, especially in the month of December, I don't wanna be having any big tickets out there, you know. I wanna try to cut all the spending out probably by the 1st of December. It's easier to get everything wrapped up, so unfortunately everything happened in October, November this year, so.
The Halloween fires, how did you get along with them?
What's that?
The Halloween fires, I've seen in the paper, you had several of them.
Yeah, I was on the ambulance that night, didn't get to go over there, but, and I haven't heard anything.
On the curb right there that set those on fire, both those along the highway?
Yeah, the one south, on the south curves was set last year.
Yeah.
The one on the north curve was set this year. Unfortunately, there's one more tree pile out there.
Yeah.
And we hope that that the county wants to burn that before next Halloween. Because we don't necessarily want to be out there again, especially that one. The north side of that one, there's a pretty good patch of trees and grass that were to grow over, it wouldn't be good. So, yeah, that one we would rather not be existing next year, Halloween. And then I haven't heard anything from the city of Stafford on all their in-town fires, as far as if they get any closer.
So Jerry's gonna make determinations about this engine, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I really liked, Jerry seemed to have dealt with plenty of these pickups recently. None of them being an ambulance, which is just a lot more labor basically involved, because you only got about that much room. But some of the issues that I was telling we were having, it was the same exact things that he's dealt with within 2 or 3 pickups, I think he said, within the last year or so.
Okay.
So I really think that, even, and a lot of them seem to be some somewhat simple fixes too. But I don't want to just fix the issue and then still have that big item looming over us. So I do want to know what he thinks and what he proposes, how far in we should go. Because if we don't have to go down to the EGR cooler, then I'll save a tremendous amount. But if we do have to go down to the EGR cooler, the high pressure oil pump is down there as well. They've got a little plastic screen. The little plastic screens blow a hole through them. So stuff as minor as just replacing that to like a stainless, and make a little stainless mesh instead of it. But then if anything got through that, then that high pressure oil pump actually feeds those injectors. And it's like 4,000 PSI. And so the pump goes out to those injectors. So if we go that far, at least you can pull that pump out and make sure the pump is okay too. So, but I want to take it over, let him look at it first, just to see what. I really don't have anything except for, I suppose, the brush truck. If you guys want me to just purchase it outright instead of going through insurance on the parts.
Well, I think it's kind of up to you if you're willing to do the labor. And
Oh yeah, it won't be a problem on the labor.
Yeah.
It's a difference of $250.
Well, if,
Well,
actually, if
yeah.
he takes it to a body shop, it'd be.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him know where to begin. I'd suppose you'd double the cost if they went to the body shop, I mean, just because it's labor, but
But you do need the headlight and mirror.
that would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was gonna let you know, we got, the generator and the truck, sealed bid ad. It should be in Wednesday's paper, so I,
Okay.
you know.
The truck meaning the pickup and the truck,
Just the truck.
we still haven't dealt with the pickup yet.
Right, because Bigfoot, the big 5-ton truck is not, we got it painted though. It's ready for reassembly. So, until, yeah.
Are you gonna paint that on the side of it?
It is on the inside door. I forgot, I don't know if you guys have heard that, but it got nicknamed Bigfoot. So, we did get that painted, Davin and Steve and I, we got that primed, painted and cleared last Friday, so, it's white. Just gotta get the tank put on there and, reassembly. Once that truck's done, then we can look at that truck. Even though that truck is not the greatest, it's keeping us in a water source for the moment,
Okay.
so.
So you're, what you're advertising is the old?
Yeah, the old yellow truck, the old, well, this would be the '89 C70.
Oh, okay.
The one that the rear axle went out, and I believe the transfer case. So, yeah. That should run
That's the
in
one that
next
was
2
the
papers.
radio?
Yes. Yep. They did get their deuce and a half back. It was all repaired from the fire that they had on the top of it. That was a fuel leak, burned up some hoses and things. That was, shoot, seems like almost a year ago by now, but not quite. They have it back, and they've got a small brush truck.
So they have 2 trucks.
They have 2 trucks, yeah. We've got some other minor issues at the moment, but it's more like maintenance stuff for the time being.
Get the brakes fixed on the one in Seward?
We have master cylinder put on it. We have wheel cylinders, no brake hoses. I want to go ahead and put brake hoses on it too. If we're going to go that far into the brakes, might as well put brake hoses. Brake hose is a little harder to get from the Forest Service. So, but I'm going to call them back and go ahead and get brake hoses too. So it's still leaking, but the wheel cylinders aren't actually on the truck yet. So I'm hoping hoses and cylinders will finish it up.
So you have master cylinder on it, but
Master
you haven't got the
cylinders.
rest of it.
Mhm.
So you do have brakes, but
Yes, the brakes are better. It still leaks, not near as bad though. I'm thinking there's one wheel cylinder that must be leaking out the back or something. Haven't been able to really see any oil though, any brake fluid, so. I think they had a fun time with that master cylinder on.
you know,
It's not the easiest to get to, but, so, that's all I have. I just kinda wanted to update.
Okay.
So,
Well, I hope we get good news from Jerry.
I do too. On that ambulance, there's no good way to deal with it. The thing I keep hearing from everybody is sitting is the worst thing. So they did say that it's good that it's an ambulance because when it does go, it's not being babied around town. So, but he said, on that particular turbo, sitting is the worst for it. Starts to get a little bit of rust build up, so. I don't know if there's any other way to deal with it other than we just drive it more. But, so that's all I have.
did we decide on how he's gonna fix the truck?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, it's just fix it on your own.
Okay.
And more
Do you
than
want to,
$500 electrical, so it's got to be a couple hundred bucks.
you want me to fix everything that's belted? Be $775 in parts.
I would fix it on. Not much difference price.
Okay with me? You think
Stay
it
away from
needs it?
fires.
Yeah.
I would rather fix the grill personally.
Okay.
I really don't want, I don't want it to seem okay to others that we got a truck burnt, you know, even a truck too hot. The people that were on that truck were you know, it was explained to those people that just because, yeah, you melted some plastic, no big deal, but there are people on that truck too. So, we made it clear, and I do want it to be fixed, that way it's not a reminder, you know, of how close that truck got into the heat, so. I would prefer to fix the grill too.
Okay. I guess we need a motion. This is over the limit, right? I'll make a motion that will allow Nick to go ahead and order parts for the fire truck. $775.
Second.
Moved and seconded, we allow Nick to purchase parts for the fire truck and repair it themselves for $775. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We'll keep you updated on the repairs as soon as we get some more information.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah. Let's recess.
I talked to Mike Tibbetts, and I think I told you guys this a little bit earlier, but on our repeater, on the, for narrow banding, he can get us by for about $1,800 to $2,000, so I told him that's what we were gonna do. I was just letting you guys know. I mean, cause there ain't no way to really do a bid on that because of the way he's.
Go that down the shop there.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's having to do it, it's the federal government mandated, so.
Yeah, one of the ones Band-Aids.
That we're gonna, well, then we'll reprogram some of our radios. And some of our radios will no longer be any good.
Seemed like we've heard this story before.
I'm sure you have.
The 800 radios and the narrow bands
Yeah.
and the.
We don't have 800 radios, so.
You
No, I
gonna
know.
do everything for $2,000, you think?
He thought he could make us get narrowband compliant, which we need to be on our license, which we just renewed. And it is said we will be narrowband compliant, so, he thought he could do it for $1,800 to $2,000.
That's great.
And then we'll just have some reprogramming fees on our radios.
Wouldn't you have to replace radios?
I may have to replace a few, but I don't know how many at a time we'll do.
I see.
We're not gonna just replace everything that we have. We'll do it over a span of a little bit of time,
Okay.
probably 2 years.
Drag out the paint a little bit, more of the time.
Oh, I mean, radio's around $400, but $400. We'll just have to work around it. I mean, most of our stuff has, about everything we have has a radio in it. And we'll just have to sometimes, switch back and forth. Now, like the dump trucks, they'll all keep their, we'll have to make sure we keep radios and then the pickups, but, like the graders and the loaders and stuff like that, we may have to switch some around. Like the distributor truck, we don't, sometimes we use it, we don't, so we'll make do with it that way. That's all I have for you.
Went up and looked at your road the other day.
Did some failures right at the first of it.
Yeah, but it looks real good
Yeah, it's a little rough, but it's,
compared to what it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it looked real good.
I'm pretty happy with it. I think the people up there are happy with it from what I.
It's a dirt stop line now.
No, there's no more white tornado.
It just amazes me, the traffic though.
No, there's, there's a lot
They'll
of
be able
traffic.
to stand up to all that weight. But was it you, or what you guys told me one truck is like the equivalent of 5 cars? Is that how that?
Oh, no, they said one truck is equivalent to, it depends on which one you study, look at, it can be equal to like 100 cars a day. But the worst thing you could ever put on it, I know the worst thing you can put on a city street is a trash truck. It will cause more damage than, I mean,
Why is that?
the study that I saw was like 500 cars a day,
Why is that?
because they're overloaded most of the time. I mean, the trash truck gets them. I mean, I'm glad we're not in that business, because that is the most abused piece of equipment you'll ever see in your life. Well, nobody wants to work on them.
You can see why.
Get your motor fixed.
Did,
Yes, we got the truck back Friday.
Did you end up with a long block or what?
Everything but,
Oh, my.
and then it ended up being 14,000.
Gee.
14,500. They made one of the wrist pins. So,
Makes you wanna go buy a Mercedes then.
that's probably why they don't make it anymore.
Well, they don't.
No,
Really?
not that big a motor.
I didn't know.
What kind of warranty you get with that one?
It actually has a 2-year warranty or 300 or 350,000 miles. So we do have some more work this motor now, so that's a good thing, that's it, but it cost us $14,000.
That's good.
But yeah, is an injector tip come off the tip of an injector and put a hole in the piston and
So that's what happened.
there's no way to predict it, just mechanical stuff. Because they said you're supposed to change those injectors out at 350,000 miles. And this had 290. Yeah, that's come off.
did you talk to the state guy about that over there, Stafford Road Highway 50?
I talked to one of them that I will do some more talking about. I would think, if I'm trying to find a geometric improvement deal on that, it'd be,
We could put in a turn lane. Well, I've noticed that, when they do the intersections along the highway, even the township roads, they'll take an apron and asphalt on out, past the edge of the road. And I would think,
well, and they do overlay back right to their right, and sometimes they go farther back than their right away. It's been a while since they did anything, they didn't do any of that this time through there.
no, they didn't.
But once we got it cleaned up, that's real bad. And I did talk with Tommy a little bit, he kind of smiles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's about all you get out of them.
but I will talk with Kirkland Michaels, with John. We'll see him here next week or two, because he's supposed to be doing some deal for a bridge replacement over there southeast of Stafford, some of the paperwork on that.
Oh, the one on 110th or 100 and whatever,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's the street, so.
that was the one where the school bus driver was worried about where it was
No.
now?
No, that's actually, that's not even actually not on the report, because it's, that structure there is less than 20 foot.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't come
All
out
right.
on the bridge. What we did was took the top off the deck. It was a 2x4 deck. What they do is take 2x4s and stand them up on the edge and
Mhm.
nail them together. Well, they were just, most of those were put in the 50s. So, they were just loose,
Okay.
and with the traffic going over, I had the township guy pull all the dirt off of it, which before dirt was falling down in
Mhm,
there,
mhm.
and they had so much dirt on top of it, well, it was making holes in it,
Right.
and so it looked pretty good, and then after the traffic started beating on it, the boards were a little bit loose, so it started splintering, so we pulled the deck off, pulled the stringers off, cleaned all the dirt out in the channel, reset the stringers, and we turned the 12 deck on top of it.
Okay.
And it looks fine.
So it'll be good for another 40 years.
That remains to be seen, but,
Unless
I
we
mean,
get- unless we
the
get-
wood piling, they're in good shape, there wasn't any dry rotted to them, so. Because part of them were covered up so that you couldn't see it. So, yeah, they were going to make sure they didn't have any suction loss in the piling, which we didn't, so. But it had 6x18s for stringers, or 6x16s, so house was fine.
Okay.
The deck, they weren't gonna go through it, so.
We want to keep the children safe.
Well, they were, so. Other than that, you guys have anything?
I don't. We have any questions, Amy?
What's the name of this company?
CDS, or, yeah, CDS is who that is, or, I think a lot of times it comes out as electric, so I don't know. It's CDS Adams, or outlets.
What's your project in Stafford, where you're talking about by the co-op there, you're just exploring that right now, and if you do something, it'll be next year, right?
Yeah.
Next year's budget and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What about the city, did you talk to them, is there any chance of getting some help from the city?
I don't think
It's
they
not
have.
the limit.
The city limits, you did talk to the.
And they also, they really helped us out over there, that they
Yeah.
took their street sweeper and swept up some of
Mhm.
the sand along the edges, so this is the only way we have to do is, put all the sand off. Well, there is a curb and gutter along that.
And you're gonna get Kirk and Michaels to take a look at it, is that what you're saying?
They'll at least give us a preliminary, can give us a preliminary cost what we're running.
Okay.
Better than my guesstimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Thanks, Bill. Ten o'clock, man, this week's going fast.
Yeah. It's already 2 minutes after 10.
That's what I noticed.
It's
Yeah.
fast.
You wanna talk about this stuff now?
No, we
Recess?
reset.
All right, let's recess.
Last time I looked at that clock, it was 10 minutes, 2 minutes after 10, now it's 2 minutes till 10.
Do you have anything else?
It's 2 to 10, yeah. No.